Made it through the gauntlet. We've officially arrived at our end. We had some weird ghost spirit looking lady dude thing at the end, and I'm assuming we're gonna get some focus on whatever that is. So I guess we're going some supernatural stuff now, as opposed to just normal things within the world. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it's just some ghostly looking diseased person who needs curing. Who knows? I'm excited, I guess, to see whatever. Hopefully, we get some more fun Mau Mau moments and faces and different art styles. That's really all we're here for, if we're being honest. And then Jinshi moments as well with her, because they're always just fun interaction, even though he's a little creepy sometimes. Hopefully, a little less on the creepy side and just fun interactions between the two. And then hopefully we develop into some more plot. I'm still wondering if we're gonna go for this series like episode by episode, like little, here's one thing we got to solve this episode and then we do it by the end type of thing, or if we're gonna like develop like arc based and like go through things. I'm assuming I won't get my answer here, because it's probably like 3 episodes that all kind of give you the full feel for what it is going to be, and that's why we chose to release it like this. I mean, I could be wrong, but and then if there is like arc based things, maybe that'll happen starting with episode 4, similar to kind of, I guess, how Freer ended in a way. Maybe we'll do something similar, which I wouldn't be opposed to, but I'd just be interested to see what like that would look like in this type of story. If you like it all, like and subscribe, email out to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. This is a Toho show, so this will be blocked at some point in the next couple of weeks probably. So if you're watching this reaction at a later point, check the link in the description for the actual reaction. It'll probably be placed there. All I ask is that afterwards you either come back and just leave a like, a comment, or stick around and watch the discussion maybe a little bit, just so I know, people are actually interested in this and are appreciative of the fact that I, pay money for things that I don't make money back on, so I can upload the videos and people can still watch and enjoy if they want. It just makes me feel a little bit better about the thing that I choose to do. So yeah, I would just appreciate that. Let's get going though with episode 3. Pretty beautiful story, just of a person or a connection between two people who've loved each other or always have for a long time, and now in this opportunity that they have, and through differences in status and stuff that are going to cause being together and whatever else the situation is to be a lot harder on them, able to overcome something together through their trust and faith within one another and what they're able to do, and really create something, which I think is really, really good. I was like completely lost for like 15 minutes, I'll be honest. One, because I was reading into it wrong. I thought that they were giving her like I thought that they were trying to give her a gift of making her a soldier in a way, rather than giving her as the gift to a soldier. I read it wrong, and then the entirety of the episode, I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? They're just punishing her for fucking up. Like that's what I thought it was the whole time. I'm so like upset with myself for that, because I ruined like the experience of going through the whole episode and like actually knowing what the fuck was going on. So I'm greatly sorry for that. There's no taking it back at this point. So whatever happens now, I guess I can use this opportunity to talk about the episode, which the whole build up to it gets destroyed solely because of my lack of understanding at the time, and then trying to take things and view them in certain ways that literally aren't there because of how I thought it was. But like I said, it's a beautiful conclusion for them to ultimately come to with it. It answers my questions, I would say, for the idea that we're not going supernatural ghost thing here, and it's real person, and of course nothing in this universe or this world really here is going to end up like that. It's all real things, and things involving or that would involve or work with medicine or illness or whatever else the situation is. And even if Mau Mau's not important or useful, because it doesn't actually fall under her field, she's somebody who is being called on because she's a useful person that is good at figuring out things, and narrowing down to what they possibly could be, and working towards whatever that is. So pretty good to see extra use out of her, which also grows the other people around her actually like start realizing how useful that she possibly can be with things. And then she becomes very useful in regards to Jinshi and how he kind of views her and really what he wants, which ultimately leads us to the end when Buddy tells us that we have a request through the Emperor or whatever, that they have something that they need from her, need her to do, which really scares me. I don't know if the guy at the end was the Emperor. I doubt it. I'd assume, based on just designs and stuff we've gone through and with so far, that would make no sense to make him kind of plain looking and boring. Like, I feel like we would have to go a little bit out there, but I guess they made him a bit different by giving him the beard and the other stuff. But I just feel like if for the actual Emperor we got to make it like something, I don't know, better. But it might not be, and that actually could just be him. But I find it hard to believe he's coming to us and asking for a favor through somebody else in a way. Like it would be more so he's sending somebody to do so. Like that would make a lot more sense to me. But that also scares me for whatever they plan to have Mau do, or whatever they saw in her through these incidents and the other stuff that has happened, that they're actually trying to get her involved there. Interesting episode too, just because we changed the pace, like the tone of how we're taking it is very different. Episode 1, 2, and 3 are entirely different, how they kind of operate, where this one kind of plays off a bit more serious, less funny moments or less things kind of mixed in there. The first one's more introduction to the world and the things that are happening, Mau as a person and her personality and stuff. Episode 2 really brightly shines it while doing lots of comedic focus, but also a closer relationship between our main two that we're going to be dealing with, and how their interactions and their relationship kind of is becoming, and how they play off of each other. So it's fun to see the difference in every single one, and how we can approach each of them, which I think is interesting, or good at least too, because it allows you to see this offers a variety of different things, and we're really going to be able to kind of put them all into one and see. I don't think this is something that required 3 episodes at once. I know they didn't release it as like one, but if you're batching them together, you would also assume that that would be the case, because if not, you could just do it weekly. I don't believe all 3 of these like work together in a way that like makes it feel complete and necessary, like we needed this. And I think that we could have just did one per week. Personally, I really don't see that there being an issue. It's not like we're wrapping something up like Oshinoko with a long first episode thing, or Frieren, where you could combine them all as one, or watch them in 4 different ones, but it's like an arc, like a full thing together. This doesn't necessarily feel like this, but I guess you could also just consider this like Mau's introduction really into here, and giving you a glimpse of everything that is kind of involved within this world, and allowing you to make that decision if you'd like to continue on with the show past this point or not. I'll definitely be doing so, as I'm absolutely loving a lot of it, and especially her as a character. So we'll be continuing that, no problem. But I just something I guess I wanted to note about how I felt throughout whatever was going on here. Going into the episode a bit, they explore some stuff about what was going on. We had lots of rumors and people talking about things, of course, and we got to spill those to Mau, because why wouldn't we? And then of course we go to the perfect person who gets literally all the info. I don't know who her sources are, but she's getting it, but I would love to have some answers, because she clearly knows fucking everything. So I really want to know. But it gets her thinking, and I love the way that she logically thinks about everything, as opposed to just kind of buying into the hype in a way, or buying into the rumors. And she actually does like investigation and looks through this stuff. And even if she tells herself she's not interested or doesn't care, it's not real, she can't help but like think that there's something going on there. I love how his attitude changed entirely towards her once he figured out that she's like better at the job than he is, basically. But maybe it's a good thing, because he like looked down on her, but once he realized that she's plenty capable, he was like, I can learn a lot of things from you and be useful and actually get stuff out of this. So maybe he changed up a little bit. Still not great, but is what it is. We get more cat Mau moments, which are great. She gets the tail and everything this time too, which I love. I love this, and her just thinking like, what is his role? Like, I don't even understand. They'd be like, you might be the lover to the emperor. It's the smirk that she has on her face when she figures that out. Very fun moments here. And also when both of them go into the more, I guess, chibi-like style here, it works and plays off really, really well. My man's approaching a little too much over here, back up. She's not yours, we don't be needing that. He moves forward, or we all move forward here, and we decide to put her up to being in charge of like leading this operation in a way, which is really fun. I love how giving him like bad compliments in a way, or calling him names and stuff, makes him absolutely happy. And we can't do that anymore, because that'd be bad. We end up meeting this lady at the top who's just kind of dancing around. This is the line where I completely read wrong and things went completely south from this point onwards. We have full discussions. She relates to personal experience and things that she happens in her past. Speaking on that, I wish, and I might regret saying this, because I've said this on other shows, like where they didn't do things and they come out and do it in like proper ways. But I wish, like, when she makes the joke of saying like the old man would like scold me, or like would be angry like for me making assumptions or doing all of this stuff, right? Like I wish we got more connection, or more time spent, and more backstory, like things with them, so that when she makes comments like that and says things, they have like weight to them, and like I feel it, because I don't like there's nothing that I can connect to that and be like, ah, yeah, I know what you mean, or oh yeah, that's true, or something. Like it just like it's a line that just feels kind of unnecessary at that point, because I don't have any care or relation or notice towards him. The dude had like one line in the entire thing, you know, like it just doesn't, I don't know. So sometimes I do wish that there was a bit more leading into what actually happened, which can still happen, and they can give us that later on, but it lacks it for now. Which is why things like that don't really work out too well. Mama goes out of her way though and was like, "Ah, I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm doing here, what's going on." It tells us the entire story of what happened, and how somebody kind of didn't want to be sold off, but at the same time she did, and she wanted to do it to somebody else, and they kind of all worked together and made things work out in a more positive and good way for everybody at the end of the day, which sometimes could be the case. But what happens is sometimes you have to deceive others, and you have to play tricks and do whatever you can to make them think that you are worthless or worth less, and whatever that is, and work towards your goal, you know, together, and having faith in each other to be able to pull off these things that you're doing is a difficult thing, but also it's a very strong and beautiful thing when it all can ultimately come together, which is lovely. We get our final thing, which is everything that Memo's gathered over these last, 15-16 minutes of this, and comes to a conclusion that essentially, if she's going to be with a soldier, she probably knew him from the past. They probably had a great relationship. Of course, they want this. Things weren't going to happen, because why would he get rid of, or the Emperor get rid of somebody who's so, like, important or close to him, or that he likes? So of course she's going to fuck up and start leading down the path, knowing it's time, to get going and kick it into gear. And then I got to act like I'm mentally kind of crazy in a way, or something's wrong with me, and make him just be like he's not losing out on much if he ends up losing me, which I think is a fantastic thing. This is a great photo. I will be using this for the thumbnail. And then we get really cute, wholesome moment where they all kind of come together here, which is great. And they get to go on their journey. This horse is fucking ugly down there. The CG horse that they throw in, bro, that thing is gross. They have another shot later where it shows this when he's petting it. It looks awful. It is what it is. But then we get all these really cute moments of them kind of being together in like these beautiful locations and stuff, which is lovely to see. And it's a great connection. A beautiful looking sky here as she looks out onto the village and everything, and really get to see how vast this area really is, which I think is great. Her connection to an idea of what love would be as like a medicine or something in the situation is fascinating. I don't have anything to add to that or really say, because I actually have no idea, but it's a fascinating thing to keep in mind and think about. And I thought that she was going to compare it to her own life and be like, if that's like truly what brings happiness or whatever the situation is, like I'll never experience that, because she seems to be down on herself or so uninterested in that type of stuff that it's like something that might not really work out for her. And I thought that we were going to go that route, but no, I think her comparison works way better, especially for the type of person she is and what we kind of know. I think it works excellently. And then ultimately we get to meet this guy who, Emperor question mark, maybe not, just messenger for somebody. It could be any of them, and I really don't know. It gets in here, and we have a request to use Mao Mao based on her expertise and her success, I guess, through all these things that she's done over the past couple episodes. So gonna be weird going into that. If I made a guess, I probably wouldn't. I don't know what we could use her for. I'm assuming it's going to be based on what just happened here, so it's not going to be creating a medicine or doing something. It's just going to be figuring out a problem or something that's wrong with somebody, or word got out that people might be deceiving and doing things like this against like the emperor and everything, and they might be trying to crack down on that, and they're going to use her a little bit more to look into people and figure out possibly what their true intentions are, and if they're actually mentally ill or whatever the situation is with them, before they decide to be okay with kind of getting rid of them, or moving on, or not being as important to him. I think maybe a route like that, because it would connect perfectly with this. But once again, I think it's a great way for them to show 3 episodes off that are very different. They can show you the difference of everything that we can kind of get when it comes to the show, and show you ultimately what everything is. And I'm very excited for more, mainly for more Mama moments, but whatever they throw our way story-wise, I am very interested and excited for as well. That's gonna be all from me. It's been a long day of doing this. I still got another thing to do after this. Unfortunate. Whatever. We move and we'll get this done. Hopefully the editing and everything for this can get done soon. I can get it up earlier tonight. We'll see. I'll be back next week for episode 4. You guys have a good one now. Peace.